Just FYI. Hey, everybody, it's the IMMPact Immigration Litigation Update. It's great to be back with you guys. I know it's been a little bit. We've been, I'm not gonna say we were on vacation. I was on vacation. But we've been busy doing a lot of other things. So welcome 2024. It's great to see everybody. Hopefully some people will actually tune in today. To Greg, Aaron, Jesse. It's awesome. You guys all had a good holiday. I know Greg just got back from Jackson Hole. Aaron, were you in Jackson Hole too, or not?
It was. Yeah, it was nice.
All right, there was an immigration lawyer meeting in Jackson Hole. We only go to the best places. Jesse, you didn't head to that, did you?
No, I did not.
No, that's okay. You had cold enough.
That was a mistake.
Hey, we want to first update our colleagues and our friends and our clients on the delayed litigation case that we're doing in Ayla. Aaron, you want to talk about that, or Jesse?
I can start. The case is still stayed, waiting for a decision from the Ninth Circuit. The update that I wanted to give is that I'm hearing from colleagues that they are seeing some potentially faster movement on 601As, and I'm hoping that that's true. I still think it's too soon to call it a pattern or anything like that, but hopefully we're starting to see some improvements.
Let me chime in on that because we have several plaintiffs, of course, our clients of ours, and they're in August now. We've got some August, and I saw one September transfer. So it looks like if they weren't transferred previously in the Great Transfer, they're getting transferred now. Which would suggest that all those prior transfers they worked their way through, and the transfer being, I guess, that it's going from wherever it was to the adjudicator. I think that's what they're calling a transfer, or to the new service center. So I think, and I was talking about this on my podcast. Last October they promised that next October these would take 12 months. I think they're going to get there. They are clearly devoting resources now. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. There's no doubt about that. Other cases are falling by the wayside for sure. But these are definitely getting this. And a client called me yesterday. He said, look, I would not be getting this today if you hadn't filed that lawsuit. Zero chance. I know I'd be waiting 6, 8, 10 more months, which is right. That would have been happening. Jesse, do you have any word out of the Ninth Circuit?
No word out of the Ninth or the Fourth. The last update, I think, and I haven't seen any more recent decisions, was that district courts started to kind of take back the baton, so to speak, and find that they could review these delays and disagree with some of the earlier cases. I don't think there's been a reversal in that trend, but we're still waiting word from the Ninth and the Fourth.
And then, as a reminder, the thing that could kind of throw a little bit of a grenade into all of that is the Supreme Court's got a decision that's probably coming out in the next few months that's, from oral argument, seems like it's going to push back on jurisdiction stripping. So we will see, but that would be good.
That would be a really good thing. All the best immigration decisions come out in June. So might be all right. The 601 case, Aaron. I know you lead on that case.
Yeah, that one has our brief going to be filed by February 6th, and so then the government's going to have 30 days after that, and then we get a reply brief, and then we'll figure out if the Eighth Circuit's going to schedule oral argument, and so that's all in motion.
Now, Aaron, something interesting happened in that case. 3 more of our clients were approved.
Yeah, I think that puts us down to 8, which is great. We're getting more and more approved, and hey, it'd be great for us if everybody got approved, and we just said, hey, let's not do briefing and oral argument. But
they won't do that before your brief is due. They might do it before their brief is due.
Hey, that's for sure. But hey, if that's what it takes, that worked for us.
All right, Uniting for Ukraine. Jess, you want to update us on where we are on this recovery of fees for our clients?
Sure. Yeah. So we had another status hearing yesterday before Judge Bloom, who's a magistrate judge in New York. She was fairly outspoken about the need for the parties to get together and resolve this. He was very happy that we had made contact with plaintiffs for Afghan refugees who were not included because we could not locate people in she actually was very grateful that we had found 2 willing plaintiffs, and we're going to be able to raise the claims for the 33 people who paid. There is absolutely no dispute that these people are owed money in the judge's mind, and it's a matter of getting together and having the case resolved. And the court would like that sooner rather than later, because the court has limited resources, and really we're at an impasse to be with the government.
I think we need to be clear here. We're of course willing to settle the case. We're not looking to litigate the case to death, are we?
Well, a long time ago when we were in Chicago on this case, I was drinking the Kool-Aid and saying that it was going to be settled because there's no other way out. But honestly, the government has been pretty good about moving us around the country to avoid paying back people the money. I don't know if it's actually the best humanistic approach to the case, but it's a strategy that's worked. But they're going to run out of places to go. I mean, that's
Chicago, Washington, New York. Are they going to send us out west soon?
They might send us again. Here's another question. Whose money is this anyway that immigration is refusing to give back? I'm just curious whose money that is.
Seriously. Yeah, I know.
I don't think it's the USCIS. They stole it from these people. They did. That's my closing argument, by the way. You stole it.
Yeah, they believe that USCIS can apply a finders keepers approach, except they didn't find it; they took it. That's the problem.
Tookers keepers.
So we'll keep surprised of that. It's very interesting that watching.
Chuck, I did want to. I didn't have it pulled up quickly enough when you were on the 601A case, but I just did pull up the our data chart on that, and I can tell you that there are 107 approvals, no denials. So for people that worry that litigating leads to denials, like punitive denials, there have been no denials. We have 189 plaintiffs pending. Our latest cases that were, we had one approved yesterday. Actually, we had a couple approved yesterday that were August 2020 filers.
So good. That's good. It's a good sign moving forward. Hey, I just want a quick update on the EB5 litigation. If I can tell, every one of my plaintiffs has been approved or adjudicated. So my EB5 case is over as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Jesse, Judge Srinivasan's having a open forum, apparently. Ask the judge question kind of thing as the chief of the DC circuit. You going to hop on and ask him where the decision is in the lottery case?
The mystery of the missing decision.
I honestly may have to, because I don't usually talk too much shop on X or Twitter or whatever, but I will repost old Jordan highlights, and I'll get like a plaintiff who will be like, "What about me?" I'm like, what about you? Jordan highlights, or what about? Yeah, I understand. Everyone's waiting. I mean, we're waiting.
I did a live stream on artificial intelligence stuff this week, and I had somebody, Joe plaintiff, show up in the comments on there. I mean, I get it. These people are legitimately frustrated.
It's awful. I mean, it's
as are we, but it's like
it's soul destroying that it's taking. It just, I mean, again, it just goes back to they must have a problem with one of the judges making a decision.
Well, Judge Henderson is on that panel. Was on that panel, and is also on the panel that is supposedly expediting the Trump immunity case, which everybody thought was going to be decided 2 weeks ago, and is dragging out conveniently for the president, for that former president.
Interesting, Judge Henderson. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So there, just FYI, immigration, if you don't know, is raising their fees shortly. If you've got any immigration cases you want to file, do it now. But there is going to be fee litigation against the government's rules, I'm sure, because they're going to be making a massive money grab here shortly on every type of case.
Chuck, did they publish a date on that yet?
No, they didn't. The OMB, the final OMB was given a final rule. Now, here's what's weird. One thing that I think we all agree would be a good fee increase would be the lottery. The H1B lottery should be agreed. Well, H1B lotteries in a month. And they sent apparently a final rule to OMB. Well, final rules have a 60-day time frame for implementation. They didn't send an interim final rule, which would allow them to do a 30-day implementation. And so I'm thinking either we don't have all the information. One, two, they have a different rule for the H1B lottery than for the rest of the fees, so they can get them by March. Or three, they royally screwed up their stuff. But I would expect the people to be out in the next week or two. I just don't know the effective date.
I think they're gonna. I was on a call yesterday. I think we're talking maybe by the end of the week they're gonna have it. It's cleared. I mean, it's there, and I would expect there to be litigation. The difficulty with any rule, this goes back to our former life when we were fighting like cats and dogs.
Yeah,
you'd have to get an injunction on that. You're gonna have to move quick, and get a hearing date. File your briefs, and so.
What do you think the legal theory is going to be on fighting the fee increase?
The two issues that I've looked at, because people were asking, I think there's a difficulty with charging people for the adjudication of other benefits that are nice. I'm an H1B. I want an H1B. I'm an H1B employer, and you're taking $400 and you're using it for something else. I think Congress can do that, but I don't know if that is legitimate.
I don't think the agency can do that. I really don't. I mean, that's where it's most vulnerable.
And then there's the other thing is they didn't comply, from what I know at this point, with the statutory assessment that they have to do to see that this is justified, this is what it takes, this is what it costs, and it's mandated by statute, and they totally blew it. They did not do it. They haven't shown their work on that. And then the third thing would be, there was a large amount of legitimate comments made, and it doesn't look like, from what I've told, there's any changes in the final rule or substantive changes. So they did they consider the relevant factors?
Don't call us. We'll call you.
Well,
the other thing that I haven't reviewed this very recently, but the other thing that's always out there is the question about the legality of the funding of FDNS.
Yeah.
So,
and that was in our first fee litigation the other rule that we did, and we that one. I mean, the thing about it is
that's the Angela Paparelli fight.
I was talking about the old fee rule litigation we did. I mean that in a lot of ways that was a little bit easier because we didn't have someone at DHS who was authorized to issue in the first place. So we didn't have to fight these thorny issues. Now it gets a little bit more difficult because they've actually appointed someone who can do the job.
It's going to be fun litigation. All right, some questions. T. Lyons is glad we're back. Again, why is the 601 appeal? Well, actually, the appeal of the other case was not our case. The appeal, so far, it's been quick. Oral argument was in November.
Yeah.
Well, it's 60 days. They expedited it, and Ninth Circuit usually is pretty good about that. So I would expect within the next few weeks, probably get a decision by the 90-day mark. That's just me. Any response to the 485 FOIA? No. The FOIA is still pending, and I just need to litigate it. I just haven't had time with everything I've been doing in my firm to just file the lawsuit on that. But yes, I will be filing that. If you documented qualified in late 2021, 618 approval, you jump from the line for have to start. No, so how it works, and Aaron, you can verify this is true. If you documented qualified, has 601 approved, you are in the line. So generally, depending on where you are, so Juarez right now is around 12 to 15 months, maybe 18 months max to get an interview. Most other countries, and you don't go to the back of that wait line. They put you in kind of where you were, but you don't jump to the front of the line either. But generally, it's about another year if you're Mexican to get that appointment. Aaron, is that sound right to you?
Yeah, that sounds right. I would just say they're supposed to automatically get notified of the approval. USCIS is supposed to notify Department of State that the 601A is approved. However, I'd let a few weeks pass and then reach out to them just to make sure they got it.
Right. T Lyons is at 22 months. So you're about there on the 601. Your 601 should be approved shortly, I hope.
That will get approved. We're all going to be celebrating. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're moving a little bit faster than a month at a time.
Oh, we're definitely.
But they promised they were going to have everything done in a year's time frame, and that's clearly not. We're no closer. Well, we're a little closer. wait, maybe 4 years to down to about 3.25 years.
Greg, I was doing the math on this. I think they've done about 5 months of work in the last 2 months.
Right. No, they have improved, but they're not going to be at a year time frame anytime
Well,
soon.
again, they're also not fully staffed, supposedly. So, I mean, they're going to look really bad if they don't hit that mark. And I don't think they really want to look bad right before the election. So we'll see.
I don't think they care about the
Emily,
election.
what are the chances the Ukraine board bill passing actually help immigrants? Oh, you're talking about the green cards for Ukrainians? Is that what you're referring to? Because that's not going to pass.
I will say, I do think we're going to see some news in the next 72 hours, probably, on an immigration bill. I don't think it's going to pass because the House hasn't. But I do think in the Senate, they're closer than maybe we've been giving them credit for it. It'll be interesting. There's one interesting part of it, obviously, on parole, and I texted you guys a little bit yesterday on that.
I just did a whole podcast on parole.
So that's the big fight that's happening right now in the Senate side of things. And my guess is they're going to do away with court parole or at the border. I guess that's if I had to guess what's going to be the compromise, is they're probably going to make that much more difficult.
They're going to have to get a whole lot more detention beds if they do that, Greg.
Well, I understand that, but I'm guessing that's probably on parole. They're not going to give up on the these programs the president created for groups. That would be and it's a harder case for Republicans to make because these are people that are not at the border, and it's just a straight up anti-immigration argument they're making as opposed to a law and order argument.
One thing they could do is just say, okay, we don't parole anybody anymore, but we'll bond you. And just say, yeah, pay us $1,500 and we'll bond you out.
Yeah,
I mean, they could do that. As far as Emily's next question is the new H1B rule. By the way, that bill, the best thing that could happen to Biden is that Senate passes a bill and the House does nothing.
Yeah. Politically, it's great for Biden, and he can just call him the do-nothing House.
So, the H1B, there are new rules for the H1B. There just isn't a new filing fee. So there are new rules.
There was a proposed rule. They haven't.
I don't have any doubt that's going to go into effect. They're going to have that proposed rule. That'll be in effect. I just don't know if they're going to have the wage rule. The new fee will be in place in time. But the new rule will be in place. I suspect this weekend they'll probably pop it out there. Okay. It's Friday. It's the last Friday of the month. Almost guaranteed they're going to do something terrible. I hope they did the math on the 30 days though. Oh, February has 29 days this year, so they're good. What month are we seeing for approved cases? July and August. I just got an August one. So
they're up to August.
Yeah.
On our plaintiffs.
Residents required for naturalization. How long an LPR can stay out of the country? All right. Here's what I tell clients. I'd love to see, am I wrong or not? One, you should never stay out of the country longer than 180 days in a row, ever. All right. And if you do spend more than 6 months out, immigration can consider you to have broken your residency period.
Right,
if you stay out for a year, you will break your residency period. So that's what I tell clients.
If you were in a situation where it's longer, but you couldn't help it, you were like in a hospital, or there was some relative that was deathly ill. It's rebuttable, so you can present evidence, but I think Chuck's right. I mean, it's just in general, you shouldn't poke the bear on that one.
Yeah, Emily asked about their process. They're never going to get caught up in backlogs, Emily. So I did a little analysis in my podcast last year. They went from 8.3 million backlog cases at the end of fiscal year 2022 to 9.2 million backlog cases at the end of fiscal year 2023. Their backlog increased by almost 1 million cases.
Right. I would disagree a little bit with that. I don't think they're going to eliminate backlogs altogether, but I think especially with e-filing and some other things that they will be doing and should be doing, they will have a much better handle on it when they get humans out of the process as much as possible.
E-file. They should work on e-adjudication with a big giant yes button. Yes. Yes. All right, that's the last of our questions here today. It's great to see all you guys. We'll see where we are. We don't know about next week yet. We'll see if anything happens. If something important happens, we'll put it out and we'll be live for everybody. Have a great week.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.